helicopter at 10:20 p.m. on Wednesday. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I apologize for not getting back to everybody sooner. It's been a very hectic last 2 days. There's been a lot of chaos here. It's intentionally designed that way. When people are targeted, a lot of chaos is inserted in the person's life. And as I was caring for that guinea hen, the video that I just posted yesterday, the one who was harmed overnight, pretty much a miracle happened. But I was nursing the bird, feeding it, self-feeding it, and then I brought it into my house to sleep on a heating pad in a crate with the other little babies. And it was just laying there limp. And I was up really late. And then the next time I looked into the crate, the bird had moved. I was shocked. It was in the corner with all the little babies. So I moved it back, and then it moved again. And I thought, okay, so well, this is really good. It's able to move. It wasn't standing. But this morning, when I woke up and looked inside, I was astonished. The bird was standing. It was absolutely standing and seems to have made a full recovery during the day. So I'm absolutely pleased. But while that was happening, while I was distracted intentionally to care for a sick bird, literally all day long. I mean, I apologize for my foul language in the last video, but I was so angry, so sad, so distraught. And these criminals intentionally do it. It's not in my nature to act out. But that's what they do. They poke you and prod you and asset strip you. This is going on 10 years for me. It started in 2012 in January. So during that time of being distracted, I didn't take real good notice about one of my cats who I didn't see. Jessie. Jessie's here all the time. Jessie sleeps under the Chase Lounge in front of the nonprofit building there. I mean, it's nighttime now. Sleeps there during the day, sometimes with Mikey, his best friend. I usually see him several times during the day drinking water here. And he usually sits next to the creek. He likes to hear the water running, and he takes a sip from the creek, or the stream, I should say. I didn't see him all day today. And then I remembered that I didn't see him yesterday morning or last night. But of course, yesterday I was so distraught with having to care for this bird, and the others, that it consumed all of my attention, all of my day, in addition to all of my regular responsibilities and chores, etc. I thought back, and I believe the last time I saw him was either Sunday night or Monday. Now, let me tell you something about Jessie. I rescued him as a kitten, and he's always here. He's got his best friend Mikey here. In fact, there's a video, a short, of Mikey and Jessie kind of hanging out together on a Sunday. It's a really cute video. I originally posted it on TikTok, and it got so many views that I ended up posting it here on YouTube. And they're pretty much inseparable. And I notice all day I'm calling him. He's not here. He didn't come to eat. He's not drinking water. He's nowhere. I am absolutely convinced now that these criminals stole my cat. That would make 26 rescue cats. And ironically, I sent that same video of Mikey and Jesse to a friend recently because Mikey ended up staying in New Jersey during my move. I couldn't catch him. I couldn't find him. And I had to, pay a rescue to trap him there. And then I paid a transportation service to have him sent here. Yes, it cost me a small fortune. It was him and another cat. It's like a long story that I won't get into now because it's evening. And I just wanted to put this video out for a couple of reasons. But my cat's gone. My cat was stolen. These criminals are disgusting. They are despicable. This has been going on, this torture with my animals, for a dozen years. I have videos and photos on my Facebook page, Targeted Pets, but that's not nearly all of them. I just stopped posting photos of them because there were so many here in Kentucky. It's animal cruelty. I actually contacted PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and I told them that there are loud bangs, radio frequencies being generated somewhere to the roof of my nonprofit building all day long. I have them recorded. And they actually told me that they have received these similar reports across the country. So these radio frequencies that are being hit, targeting your pets, your trees, your body, when you're asleep, your stomach, your head, your feet, your ankles. This is intentional. These are pulsed microwave radio frequencies in the microwave range. There's a lot of research and articles on this. This has been done by our government for years and years and years. It's been going on, I believe, since the 1950s. And you think by now that they understood the harm that it does to the body, but they don't care. They keep perfecting it to the point where now it's more difficult to trace. Now it's coming out that they're calling it Havana syndrome. And the only reason they're calling it that is because of the diplomats that were targeted in Cuba and China, in Havana. And it has been determined that they did suffer brain damage. But this is not an isolated incident where it's happening to those diplomats. It is happening across the country. It's happening to pets. It's happening to farm animals. You ever wonder why farm animals just suddenly run away? They get spooked. They get hit. They get hit by directed energy weapons in their rear. They get hit in the head. They do this stuff during horse races too. But that's a whole nother story I won't even touch right now. But to say that I am distressed and angry is an understatement. No, I'm not going to sound off and curse the way I did. I'm a very maternal person, and I love my animals. And I take very good care of them. And it is disgusting and insulting what these people do to animals. They want to make it look like you're not taking care of them. Just the way they vandalize my property and want to make it look as if I'm not caring for it. It's just another way of asset stripping and telling people in the community that you're crazy or you don't know how to take care of your property. I even had some sorry neighbor, Scarlett, have the audacity to tell me that my property looks horrible since I bought it. These are just envious and jealous people. The 96-year-old man that owned this property that passed away, he had been in the hospital and not caring for the property for years. I mean, although he wanted to. But when I got here, it was a mess. It was a disaster. The grass was 4 feet tall. There was black mold in the mobile home trailer he was living in. I actually had to sign a waiver at the attorney's office that I would not live in that mobile home. And they left it here for me to deal with. And while I'm dealing with it, the criminals were further vandalizing it to the point where even if it could have been cleaned up and partially livable, even temporarily, they were destroying it bit by bit. Even the 6 weeks that I was living in my car until my cabin could be delivered, they were damaging that building. These people are criminals. This is your new world order, folks. They don't want you to have anything. And whatever you do have, they want to steal from you. They want to set you up just the way they did with me this week. And because they interfere with your sleep cycles, your circadian rhythm, by hitting you with microwaves and stuff as you're sleeping, before you go to bed, it becomes very difficult to keep regular hours. I used to wake and sleep like clockwork. I would be in bed between 12 and 1 a.m. and then wake up at 6:30 a.m. every day. And when I worked in New York City, I was waking up at 5 a.m. and going to sleep at around 11. And it was like that when I first moved here. When I first moved here, it was exactly like that. I was waking early, going to sleep at a reasonable hour. Until I moved into my cabin, they started hitting me with radio frequencies. And I actually took the measurements of those radio frequencies. And I have subsequently had forensically analyzed 6 of those sound videos that I just described about the loud booms to the building. And I can't say too much more about it other than that I do have the name or names of some individuals. And they were actually talking about me. There's a lot of chatter in all of the audios, and any targeted person that records anything on their property, I can assure you that in your audios, you'll have the same chatter, conversations underneath the radio frequencies. And I'm not going to mention her name now, but the individual that analyzed them for me, it took 9 months. I provided them to her 9 months ago. And she's that backlogged because she's really one of a kind, and she's a targeted person too. So she's very active in the targeting community in helping to spread the word and speaking to, I think, even to Congress and being interviewed, etc. But I just wanted to give you an update for another reason. I did have I received a phone call from a targeted friend. She was very concerned after she saw the video. And people sometimes send me emails to ask if I'm okay if they don't hear from me for a couple of days. I'm just so busy here, but I hear what they're saying. I live in a remote area, and these people are criminals. So people are concerned that something may happen to me and they would not know about it. So I'm going to do my best to post something every day, even if it's something short. So if anybody has any suggestions about topics that you would like me to speak about, I'm more than happy to do that. Right now it's getting cooler outside. I've picked some cucumbers. I planted so many things late this year. I just didn't have the time. But I'm getting some cucumbers and some squashes. And I have potatoes here, but everything is a little bit late. I have to check. And I planted a little bit for a fall garden. But I feel like the temperatures are dropping quickly. Like it's been in the 50s in the evenings already, which is really cool compared to during the day when it's, in the 80s. So I guess right now I'm just chattering a little bit. I hope everybody's doing okay. I am really very upset that my cat Jessie is gone. I'm going to post a photo of him and Mikey as the thumbnail. And he is the gray and white one, and Mikey is the tiger cat. Jessie would never leave this property. He was stolen. And I know he was because for people out there that have cats, you know that sometimes when they go to sleep at night especially, they'll go into a deep sleep. Almost any cat. And Jesse's a little bit older. I mean, he's not young anymore. I mean, I'm going to say maybe he's 8 years old at this point. But he's not a kitten. So he goes into a deep sleep where you can approach him and pet him. And a nefarious person could have approached him in the evening and grabbed him. It would not be the first time that has happened here. He is now 26 rescue cats since I've lived in Kentucky. And I want everybody listening to this to wrap your mind around the psychopathy of the people doing this. They're paid for hire murderers. They're paid for hire criminals. Many of them have security clearances. They're retired military, retired law enforcement. They're getting paid with your tax dollars. And this is happening across the country and actually across the world. But because I have a nonprofit cat rescue, they've got to take that down too. So what they did is they went into my nonprofit building and infected it with fleas. Yes, folks, house cats. These criminals love insects. I'll be out in the field, come back, and somebody's been in my house. They dump a pile of ants in my kitchen sink. Oh, this is consistent. They'll dump a bunch of spiders on your porch so that they build spider webs all over the place. And I've heard from other targeted women, particularly, who say the same thing. And it's not unnatural to have an ant occasionally enter your house or an occasional spider. But that's not what's happening, folks. None of this is occasional. It's intentional. And these Satanists, these Freemason Satanists that are also involved, their rituals involve insects and bugs and animals. And if you don't believe me, I can provide you the research. I can provide articles. It's an unsavory topic. Nobody likes to hear it or discuss it. But folks, it's actually a little chilly out here. I have not even eaten dinner yet, and it's about 10 p.m. So I hope everybody had a wonderful day and will tomorrow. Please keep my cat Jesse in your prayers, that nothing horrible has happened to him, but I can't even allow my mind to go there. What they did with the guinea hen and what they do to my property and what they do to me and other people is just beyond evil. So I hope everybody sleeps well and has a good evening. Just please keep Jesse in your prayers.